Hello everyone. Good morning. Can you hear me? Can you also see the screen? Okay, sige. Let's begin now. So welcome to VTAMS 21, Primary 3C. I believe you already know that you're in the correct section. So this is the session 2 or the set 2 of your class marker. Okay, so you know that the exam parts are 5 parts: logical thinking, arithmetic, number theory, geometry, and combinatorics. And each of these parts have 5 questions each. So a total of 25 questions, 1 hour and 30 minutes. So you need to practice for yourself each question. Give yourself 2 minutes each so that you still have time to review. Okay? And then, house rules. Please turn on your cameras so I can see your faces. Mute your microphones so that we don't distract each other. And do not annotate on the slides. And lastly, be polite and respectful to everyone. Okay? No fighting, no spamming in the chat box. Okay? Okay, logical thinking. Let's begin. Number 1. According to the pattern shown below, what number could be filled in the blank? So again, when you have a number pattern, what I want you to do is to look at the common difference. So when we say common difference, this is the difference between each term. So each of these numbers we call term, right? So in between each term, there is a pattern or a common difference. So for example, between 3 and 6, you know that it increased by 3. Between 6 and 9, you know that it also increased by 3. And just to be sure that I'm getting the correct pattern, I'm going to go through all this way. Plus 3. Oh, plus 6. And then I'm going to check again. This is this is plus 9, and this one is plus 15. So see, if I only check the first common difference, I would assume that everything is plus 3. So that's why you have to go all the way until the end to check the pattern. Now, this seems like a random number, 3, 3, 6, 9, and 15. But this is what we call Fibonacci pattern. Why is it called Fibonacci? Because the sum of previous two give the sum of previous two is giving the current one. What do I mean by this? For example, 3 and 3 together makes 6. See? And then 3 and 6 together, they make 9. So you're just adding the previous two difference to get the current difference. And then, if you check again, 6 and 9, you add together, you get 15. So you get it? You get the pattern? Now, what would be the next difference between here and the blank? 39 and the blank. So again, you just add the differences. 9 plus 15, that would be equal to 24. And that would be the one you would add in your next term. So 39 plus 24, that would be 63. And the answer here is 63. You get it? So that's what we call Fibonacci patterns. Aside from that, the pattern could also be like this. Plus 3 all the way, diba? Or it could be like this. Plus 3, plus 1, plus 3, plus 1. So you need to check all the way what is the pattern. No questions for the Fibonacci? Okay, this is 63. What if I put another blank here? Can you tell me what would be the answer? Sige. Can you chat it in the chat box? So we can see who got the correct answer. I'll give you 1 minute. Okay, what would be the next difference? Remember, you have to add the previous two differences to get the next one. So 15 plus 24, that would be equal to plus 39. So if you add 63 plus 39, that would just be equal to 102. So that's the answer for the next blank after 63. You are correct. Okay, so you understood na the Fibonacci. That could also be a pattern. So what pattern do we have? Common difference, Fibonacci, alternating. So those are the most common patterns. In order to see them, you have to look at the differences between each term. No questions? Okay, let's do number 2. Given that August 25th is a Friday, which day of the week is September 29th of the same year? For these questions, all you have to do is to count the total number of days or total days. So how would you do that? In August, how many days are there? August has 31 days. But since you are starting with August 25, August 25 to August 31, how many days is that? That is just 6 days. You count a total of 6 days. Now, September 1 to September 29, you have a total of 29 days. And you end at September 29 because that is your end date or the date that was asked. So 6 plus 29 total days, that is equal to 35 days. And then, all you have to do is to divide this by 7. Why 7? Because every week, there are 7 days. So, 35 divided by 7, you have 5, remainder 0. So, what does it mean if it's remainder 0? Remainder 0 means it's still going to be Friday. Because you started at Friday. So, that is the answer. Easy, right? Okay. What if we say October 10 and we solve for October 10? Yeah, I'll wait for your answers. Okay, let's solve together. Still, we are starting from August 25. So, August, we count again, 6 days. September, we count how many days? There are 30 days in September. So, we count 30 days. And then, for October, you count only 10 days. So, what would be the total number of days? Total days, that would be 6 plus 30 plus 10. That would be 46 days. Now, what do we do again when we count the total number of days? We just divide it by 7. Why? Because every 7 days, you go back to the day where you started because it's after 1 week. So 46 days divided by 7, that would just be 6 remainder 4. So what does remainder 4 means? It means you have to count 4 days forward from Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So the answer here should be Tuesday. Again, when you count, Friday is day 0, Saturday day 1, Sunday day 2, Monday day 3, and Tuesday day 4. Okay? All right. So, how do you know how many days in 1 month? You just look at your fingers. You start here. January, if it's at the top of your finger, that's 31 days. If it's at the bottom of your finger, February, it would have less than 31 days. So, either 28 or 30 days. So, February only is the month that has 28 days, except leap year. Now, you go back to the top, March. Then March is 31 because it's at the top of your fingers. And then April, May, June, July. Only up until the 4th. And then August also has 31. September, October, November, December. So again, at the top of your finger, you have 31 days. At the bottom, you have 30 days. That's how you know. Oh, why remainder 0 is Friday? Because you started at Friday. So again, day 0 is the day that you started with. So remainder 0, you count 0 days from Friday. So still Friday. No questions for this one? Okay na? Okay. Let's do number 3. According to the pattern shown below, how many circles are there from the fourth symbol to the 1027th symbol, counting from the left? So this seems to be like a very, very hard question, but there is a technique here. So you look at first what is the pattern. So if you see the pattern, how does it look like? What pattern did you see? The pattern is star, diamond, and then the pentagon, and then the circle, and then the hexagon, and then the square, and then the diamond again. So like this one. This one. Diba? It keeps getting repeated here. Like this. You see that? That's what keeps getting repeated over and over again. So, we call this, one of this is one set. This is one set. This is one set. Okay? How many set in one set, how many shapes are there? So you count how many shapes are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there are 7 shapes in one set. Still understanding it? Now, from the first figure to the 1027, how many sets do you have? That's the question. So how would you find out how many sets you have? You would just need to do 1027 divided by 7 because you have 7 shapes. You know division already? Oh, 1027 divided by 7. If you don't know if you know division, that's great. For those who don't know, this is how you do it. Like this. So you go 1 divided by 7. That cannot be. You cannot fit 7 into 1. So you include the next number. 10 divided by 7. That just means how many 7s can you fit into 10? You write 1 here. And then there is a remainder. The remainder is 3. So now you have 32. 32 divided by 7. How many 7 can you fit into 32? If you skip count, you would know that that is 4. Diba? And then, after 4, you have a remainder of 4 here. 47 divided by 7, that is just 6. So the answer would be 146 remainder 5. Okay? So, how many sets do you have? You have 146 sets plus 5 extra symbols afterwards. So that's what it means to have the remainder. Now, if you have 146 sets, each set has how many circles? One set has 1 circle. So if you start from the 4th, here, you're starting from the 4th, of course, there is an included circle, right? So if you have 146 sets, that means you also have 146 circles. 146 circles. And then you will have, after the 146th set, you will have 5 extra symbols. So which one is included in the 5 extra symbols? It would be from the star to the 5th symbol, the pentagon. And there is still a square there, a circle there. So you add plus 1 extra circle, that would be 147 circles all in all. And that's the answer. You got it? It's kind of long, but you can do this with practice. Amira, you have a question?
I have a solution po, yung sa class marker.
What? What did you say?
I have a solution po.
Okay, what's your solution?
In the class marker, I just thought of a number. Tapos, I just thought of a number, 146. Then I tried to plus with 1. And then, I just plus it. And then, I don't know how to solve it. It's just my makeup solution. Tapos, just plus it na lang.
Okay. Do you understand this one? No questions? Let's try. If you can solve it again using a different shape. How many circles are there from the 4th symbol to the 127th symbol? But instead of circles, I want you to be solving for the Let's say diamond. So let's just imagine that this one is diamond. When I say diamond, it's this one. Okay? Diamond.
Conception.
Let us solve. No annotating. I'll give you 2 minutes to solve for that. Yeah. I'll wait for your answers. Okay, let's solve all together. You know that from the first to 1027th figure, you need 146 sets plus 5 extra symbols. How did we solve this? We just did 1027 divided by 7. Now, what else do you know? You know that one set has 7 shapes, right? Because this is one set. And if you count that, that is 7 shapes. And you also know that one set has 2 diamonds. So now, if you have 146 sets, each of the sets contain 2 diamonds. So that means 146 times 2, that would give you 292. Correct? Now, 5 extra symbols. You count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How many diamonds is included in the 5 extra symbol? Only 1. Right? Because of the 5 extra symbols. Now, remember, you're starting from the 4th symbol. So, anything before that symbol would be deleted. So, this would be deleted. Okay? So, from the first to 1027th, you already have 293 diamonds. But remember, you're starting from the 4th to 1027. So, if that's 4th to 1027, you have to minus 1 diamond. Why? Because again, the 1 diamond here is not included. So, the answer is just 292. That's the answer. Okay? So, you need to practice this kind
Teacher,
of question. Yes?
isn't there a diamond since there's a diamond in the second one?
What?
It's the last one.
Yes, there's a diamond in the... Oh, it should be plus 1 only because remember, you only have 5 extra symbols. So the ones that are included in the 5 extra symbol is only up until this point. This is not included in the 5 extra symbols. Because again, this is the 6th symbol, this is the 7th symbol. Amara, you have a question?
And in mine, it said how many circles.
Yes, that's it. What's in the class marker? This one we're solving for the example. Okay, no questions? All right, you can view the recording afterwards so that you can review also. Number 4, Elle and her classmates are standing in a line. Elle is the 19th student from the front of the line. There are 52 students standing behind her. How many more students are behind Elle than in front of her? So, in front of Elle, how many are in front of Elle? In front, why cannot I annotate? Okay, in front of L, there are 18 students, right? Why? Because L is 19. So, of course, she is not included in the count of the students in front of her. And then, it says here behind, there are 52 students. So, the question how many more is just looking for the difference. 52 minus 18, that is 34. So, how many more means difference between the two? Okay? Number 5. 4 years ago, Louis was twice the age of Mark. 2 years later, the difference between the age of Louis and the age of Mark will be 12. How old is Mark now? So, let's list down the facts. Louis, let's say this is Louis' age. 4 years ago, if you minus 4 from his age, it will be twice the age of Mark. So that would be whatever Mark's age now. Oops, where's my annotation? So for example, Mark's age now is Mark minus 4. So whatever the Louis' age 4 years ago, it would be twice the age of Mark. So times 2. You got that? Now, we need to simplify this one. How do we simplify this? If you have a parenthesis with plus or minus, and then the outside is multiplication, you can just distribute the multiplication here, like this and like this. So, how does that look like? 2 times Mark, that would just be 2 Mark. And then 2 times negative or 2 times minus 4, that would just be minus 8. So it looks like that. Now, what did we do in Louis' age? We didn't do anything. Louis minus 4. Okay, get it so far? Now, what do we do? Oh, if we add 4 here, we also add 4 on the right. Why are we adding 4? Because minus 4 plus 4, this would just be equal to 0. So in that way, you would just have Louis on the left side. And that would be equal to 2 Mark minus 4. So what does this mean? This means that Louis' age is 4 less than twice the age of Mark. Oh, this seems complicated, right? Easier way to understand this is 2 years later, 2 years later, oh, Louis' age is 4 less than twice the age of Mark. Now, let's go to the next sentence. 2 years later, the difference between the age of Louis and age of Mark will be 12. So, how does that look like? Again, Louis 2 years later. that would be plus 2. Why cannot I annotate? Louis plus 2, that would be 2 years later. And then, how about Mark's age, 2 years later? It would also be Mark plus 2. Now, the difference daw, if you minus this 2, it would be 12. So that's how it looks like, the second sentence. Oh, how would this be solved? That means you would have Louis plus 2 minus Mark minus 2 is equal to 12. Plus 2 minus 2, that is equal to 0. And that means Louis, you would have Louis minus Mark na lang is equal to 12. Okay, this seems complicated. You can do this. Oh. If you transfer Mark over here, this is minus Mark. You transfer it on the other side, minus becomes the opposite. So it becomes plus. So what would you have now? You have Louis is equal to Mark plus 12. Which means Mark is younger than Louis by 12 years. O, kaya nyo to. So, you have two equations now. You have this equation, Louis is equal to 2 Mark minus 4, and Louis is equal to Mark plus 12. So, you know that Louis is equal to Mark plus 12. You can just replace Louis here by Mark plus 12. So, how would that look like? Remember, you have Louis is equal to 2 Mark minus 4. And Louis is just equal to Mark plus 12. This. And this is still 2 Mark minus 4. Okay. Now you just minus each other. Mark and 2 Mark. How many marks is left if you minus them? That would just be 1 mark. Right? Now, you would just add this one. 12 plus 4, that would just be equal to 16. So, it says here 1 mark is equal to 16, and that is the answer. Seems complicated, no? So, mark is equal to 16. Now, you can check your answer if that is correct. If mark is 16, this would be 2 times 16 is 32. Minus 4, that is 28. So, Louis is 28. Which is 12 years older than Mark.
Sure.
Amira, you have a question?
Is this a solution okay lang po?
What is the solution?
Wait, I'm gonna show it na lang sa whiteboard. Wait lang po.
Oh, sige, can you tell me?
Di ba 12?
Hmm?
Then, wait lang. Wait lang po.
Okay. Oh. Oh, this way, you're assuming that Mark is 12. No.
No. Yeah. Di ba po 12 si Mark? And then the 2 years, just plus it pa tapos plus na lang sa 2.
Oh, Mark is not 12. The difference is 12, but he is not 12. Pero if that works, that's okay. But With that kasi, what if the problem is not like that? Sige, let's practice this more next time. I'm sure this will be also in your set 3. So you can practice this more. Okay, let's do number 6. We're finally at arithmetic. So for me, arithmetic is the easiest because it's just MDAS. But you have to be also careful with arithmetic. Okay? Let's do this. 125 times 70 plus 60 times 125 minus 250 times 40 minus 375 times 14. So if you look at this, you can do multiplication first like this. Diba? So you do multiplication first because that's always the rule in MDAS. Now, let's look at the sets. If you look at this, every pair has times 125, right? And 250, this is just 125 times 2. If you look at 250, di ba? How about 375? 375 is just 125 times 3. So, 125 times 3. Now, why are we looking at this? Like, ano? Because, if you write that down, oops. If you write everything down, this one would just be 125 times 70 minus 60 times 125 minus 125 times 2 times 40 minus 125 times 3 times 14. This is how it would look like if you write it in terms of multiplication by 125. Let's write that clearer para you can imagine clearer. So it looks like this. Each of the boxes is this one. I'm aligning them. Like that. Now, what can we do? Everything is multiplied by 125 now. So you just cover the 125s. Cover 125s, cover 125s, cover 125s. What are we left with now? We're left with 70 plus 60 minus 2 times 40 minus 3 times 14. Okay, so 70 plus 60, that is just 130. 2 times 40, that is just 80. And 3 times 14 is just 42. So if you do that, that would just be equal to 8. Everything. 130 minus 80 minus 42, that is equal to 8. Now, remember you covered the 125 earlier. So you just bring it back. Afterwards, you do 8 times 125, and that would be equal to 1,000. So that way, it's easier for you to multiply. You won't have to multiply over and over again. 2-digit by 2-digit. We want to avoid multiplying over and over again because you risk higher the chances of having careless mistakes. So what if during the multiplication, you forgot a carryover, and then on the next multiplication, you forgot again another carryover? So your answer would be wrong already. That's why we want to avoid multiplying again and again. Okay, you got this? But if you're not comfortable with this, again, you can just still do the traditional or the way we do multiplication if you really want that. I'm just showing you another option. especially with large numbers like this. Okay, no questions for this. Let's do number 7. Find the value of this equation. So what's the technique here? You just pair up the numbers. 7 pairs with something that ends with 3. That. Easier way, you just list down 357 plus 643 and then crash it out. Boop, boop. Now, 752 you pair with 418. Why? Because the end numbers gives you 0 and that would be easier for you to add the whole thing if everything ends with 0. Now, 999, there is no pair because there is no 1 here. So you just leave that be. Next one would be 248 plus 582. So you just crash it out. And then, since 525 and 999 doesn't have a pair, you just add them together. So now, you have all the numbers. You have 8 numbers listed and there are 8 numbers given. So you add now 357 plus 643. That would be 1,000. Correct? Is my brain braining? Okay. 752 and 418, that would be 1,170. Correct still? Okay. This one, 248 plus 582, that would be 830. Still correct? Okay. And then lastly, you have 1,524. So see, it would be easier for you to add everything. 1,000 plus 1,170 plus 830 plus 1,524. If you check that, that would be equal to 4,524. 4,524. And that is the answer. Okay, no questions. Easy, easy. Number 8. So this is still addition. You just have to pair up everything. 13 plus 37, 16 plus 34, 19 plus 31, 22, please mute, plus 28, please mute while we're discussing. Okay, so you have to check 13 and 37, 16 and 34, 19 and 31. So you still have 22 and 28. And then you can add 25, 40, and 43. So you see, not everything has a pair always. You just have to work with what you have. So 25, 40, and 43. So what do we have here? This one is 50. This one is also 50. This one is also 50. And 50 as well. And you have this one, this is 83, 108. Okay, so if you add them all together, that would just be 200, 308. And that's the answer. So again, in arithmetic, it depends on you what your technique is. I'm just showing you different techniques at this point. that you can use.
Teacher, may also solution din ako po.
Okay, let's do number 9. Find the value of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 and then up until 3 plus 2 plus 1. So, what does means? Oh, means everything in between. So, for example, you cannot see plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 here. But it is included in that set because of the dot. So here also plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3. So that's what dot means. It's not a blank. Okay? Alright. So what can we do here? You can do 1 to 10 first. 1 to 10 here. So just a fact, you need to memorize, if you add all the sum of 1 plus 2 up until 10, that would be 55. So that would be 55. And then, here, you just have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. So, you know that 1 to 10 is 55. Now, this one is 1 to 9, so 10 is lacking. So, you can just do 55 minus 10. That would be 45. Get this? You can do 55 plus 45 is equal to 100. Astrid, you have a question?
I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay, that's all right. So this is a technique. So for example, you want to find out the sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 up until 8. You can just think of 1 to 10 is 55. And what are the numbers that are lacking there? You are lacking 9 and 10. So you just minus 19 and that means 1 to 8 would be 37. Oh, 36. That's how you do it a little bit faster. Roven, you have a question?
May po.
Okay. All right. Let's do number 10. Find the value of 22 times 101 times 101. Wow, it's a lot. It's a lot. So you can just do the normal way. You can do 22 times 101 first and then multiply it by another 101. But what you can also do is you can separate this 101. So how would you get 101? You can get 101 by doing 100 plus 1. Diba? It's just the same as 101. So now you can multiply 22 times 100 plus 1. Why is this easier? Because, remember kanina, if you have a parenthesis and a multiplication outside, you can just distribute like this. So, 22 times 100, you can just do 22 and then add 2 zeros at the end. Why? Because the 2 zeros are going to be from the 100. So, that's a hack. So, 22 times 100, that is 2200 or 2200. Now, 22 times 1, how much is that? That is equal to 22. So now you know that 22 times 101 is equal to 2222. So it's faster this way. Now, don't forget the another 101 here. You still have to multiply this by 101. So again, you just do what you did earlier. 101 you can write as 100 plus 1. Like this. Is my writing still readable? It's still readable, not too small? Okay. So you remember, you can multiply it like this. It's still going to be the same as when you multiply it normally. So again, you distribute 2 to 2. You can distribute 100. So you just write 2 to 2 and then add 2 zeros at the end because 100 has 2 zeros. And then you can just multiply again 2 to 2 by 1 and that would just be 2, 2, 2, 2. So, when you add that together, it's easier now. You would get 2,200, what's this? 224,422. See, that was easier than when you do like 3-digit by 2-digit multiplication. It would take you a while and it would increase your chances of getting careless mistakes. So this is the answer. So for example, you have 1,010 times 555. For example lang. This is example ha. What can you do? You can split 10,010 into 1,000 plus 10. And you can still distribute 555. So, 555 times 1,000, that is just easy. You just write 555 and then add the 3 zeros from the 1,000. So, 1, 2, 3. And then you add 555 times 10, that is just 555, add 1 zero from 10. So now it's easier. Compared if you do 1,010 times 555. You would have lots of carryovers. Okay. So again, this is just another technique. If you don't find it easy, you can use the traditional one. There's no forcing. It's still gonna be the same answer as long as you don't have careless mistakes. Okay, Ezekiel, you have a question?
I go to the CR.
Okay, we're now at the third category, the number theory. 840 coins are distributed among 9 children, such that each of them receives at least 30 pieces and receives a different number of coins. Oops. At most, how many coins can a child have? So, what do we do? So the least number of pieces that a child could have is 30 coins. So you just think, suppose we have the first child is 30. The second one is 31. Let me just type it in. First child, 30. The second one, 31. Third, 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. You only have 9 children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Up until 38 lang pala. You see if this is equal to 840. This is just again assumption. Assuming. So this is not yet the answer. You just test whether this could work. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, first we assume other 8 children na lang muna to see if it could work. What would be the sum of this? 30 plus 31 plus 32 up until 37. What's the sum of that? How do we know the sum? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can just do, you have 8 30s, so 30 times 8, plus the ones digit, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. Okay, so 30 times 8, that is equal to 240. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. How much is that? 15, 21, 28. So far, for the 8 children, you have 268 points in total. So at most, how much could the last child have? Remember, you have 840 coins, and the 8 children has 268. So the remaining coins, it would be for the ninth child. So that would be 572. That's the most number of coins the child could have, the ninth child. Luigi, you have a question? None?
I have a question.
Yes.
So can I annotate, because I want to, like, why is it not 636? Because I can give 30 to each of them, subtract the total from 840, and give the rest of them to one child.
Why is it not 30 to each of the 8 children?
And why can't I subtract that from 840 and give it to a single child and subtract?
Because you cannot assume that all of the 8 children are 30, because it says here they receive a different number of coins. That's why.
Oh.
That's why. Oh, you get this na? This is clear? And it cannot be less than 30 because it says here at least 30 pieces. So we have to assume the smallest number we could assume for the 8 children. Okay? All right, let's go to number 12 before we take a break. What is the largest three-digit number that is divisible by both 11 and 19? So, what's the first step that we do? We get the LCM of 11 and 19. How do we get the LCM of 11 and 19? Did I teach you last time? None? Okay, so 11 and 19, they are both prime numbers. So how are you going to get the LCM? You just multiply them. 11 times 19. And how much is that one? Oops. 190 plus 19, that would be 209, I think. Is my math mathing? Okay, now you just skip count. 209. You have 209, 518, 727, and 936. After that, if you add another 207, that would be equal to 1,142 already. So it's not a three-digit number anymore. The biggest would be the 936. So that's the answer. Mikael, you have a question? Hello? Okay. No questions for this one for getting the LCM? Okay, let's take a 10-minute break and then we go back at 9:10 a.m.
Lain ang 936 ko, wrong ang 936.
Ah, 936. Oh, in the class marker, it's wrong. Your class marker showed different.
Teacher, the
11.
class marker showed 800.
Teacher,
Ma'am, wrong ang ano?
it's
wrong.
418. Did you overlook? Over.
Oh, it's teacher that is wrong.
Did you
Sige.
overlook?
Yes, I
Yes,
overlooked.
she overlooked.
209 times 4. I think it's 836. So if you multiply, this would be 3 and this would be 8. It's me that was wrong. See, my brain is not braining. This is where teacher got wrong. It should be 418. So my skip counting was wrong. It should be 836. Thank you for that one.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling me. No questions for this? You can take a break now. Go back at 9:10 so that you will be refreshed. 9:10.
Ohio.
Sige, you can do whatever you want. Just not fighting.
Yeah, Ohio is the only Fanta. Elbow. Can you please stop? If you keep doing that, I will kick you. Yeah, no, I'm not admin. But there is already it's like 99 chat. More than 99. Where is my annotating thingy? Where's my annotating thingy? Now this four. Oh, tama. Can you just
Can everybody just stop spamming messages?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
wanna. I'm gonna watch TV.
If you're in Philippines, there's a rain coming in. Let me watch it.
There are too many messages in the chat box. Um, on my computer it says rainy days ahead, 26 degrees Celsius. Anyways, just stop getting unnecessary messages in the chat box. Oh, it raining. It absolutely raining.
Wait, who are you?
Stop using the chat box. Just chat by speaking in the chat box.
Just looking at this. Want beer? Knocking you out like a love. My little soda pop. You know I can think of every drop I drink of. Girl, my soda pop, my little soda pop.
Which may set the world on fire.
Egg.
That ain't gonna work. No, that won't work.
Quiz.
You are not.
Okay, break is over.
You cannot
Yeah,
cause
that's
natural
Turn on
disaster.
camera and mute
Are you even part of the
Okay, sige, let's continue. Number 13. John Marinus, do you have a question?
here.
I can't hear you clearly. Can you chat your question to me? Okay, sige. While I'm waiting, let's just solve for this one first. Number 13. The numbers below form an arithmetic sequence. What is the 16th number? So if it's an arithmetic sequence, what does it mean? The common difference is just the same all throughout. So the common difference here is, you can see this is 23. Is my brain braining? Okay, so the common difference is 23. It's called common because it is the same all throughout. Okay, what is the 16th number in the sequence? If you remember, if you have an arithmetic sequence, you can solve for the nth term by doing first term, nth term is equal to first term plus or minus n minus 1 times common difference. So you would ask me, why is this plus or minus? If the common difference is adding, then this would be plus. If, for example, it is decreasing by 23, you would use the minus. So that's what it means. Okay, so you have to remember this is only for arithmetic sequence. So please try to memorize this because from here on, from grade 3 up until grade 6, I think you will use this. You have to memorize it. Okay, answer for number 7, John. It is 4,524. Okay, now how will we use this? Nth term. We are looking for 16th term, right? So you replace 16 by, you replace n by 16. So now you have 16th term. What is your first term? Your first term is 9. And then since it is an increasing sequence, you use plus. Okay? N minus 1. What is your n? Earlier, you replaced n with 16. So your n is 16. 16 minus 1. And then, what is your common difference? Your common difference is 23. Ezekiel, you have a question?
Can I get some water?
Okay. Based on this one, what do we solve first? We solve first the parenthesis, right? You remember? PEMDAS. So this is 15. Now you have 9 plus 15 times 23. What do you solve first? Addition or multiplication? Of course, you solve the multiplication first. 15 times 23. That is 230 plus 165. That is, I think, 395. Is my 345. Is my brain braining? Let me check first. I could get an ulit. 350, 345. Yes, that is correct. So 9 plus 345, the 16th term would be 354. So that's the 16th term. Okay. You got it? Got it, got it? So again, just memorize this formula, ha? Formula. That's the important thing there. Okay? No questions? Number 14. Define the operation symbol A operation B is equal to A times B minus A plus 2 times B. What does it mean? If you see something like this, you would solve it like this. Okay? So for example, 10 symbol 11, it's the same as A symbol B. What is your A? Your A is the one on the left, A, and your B is the one on the right. So what do? You just replace A with 10 and B with 11. So that's 10 times 11 minus 10 plus 2 times 11. And now you can solve for the value of 10 operation 11. Okay, now, we always do multiplication first, right? Before addition and subtraction. So 10 times 11, that is just 110, like this, minus 10, and then we do multiplication again, 22, because 2 times 11 is 22. Okay? Now, if we solve that, that is just equal to 100 minus 22, 78. So that means this whole thing is equal to 78. That's how you solve it. Oh,
Oh,
it's plus pala. Sorry, I did minus in my head.
122.
122. My head is not heading. So that's 100 plus 22, 122. I did 110 minus 10 minus 22. That's why it's wrong. Okay, so this is the correct answer. I correct myself. You get this one? Is it confusing? No? Okay, very good. You're also smart. Okay, this one. Number 15. Given the sum of integers a and b is 1023 and the difference of a and b is 345, a is smaller than b, what is the value of b? So, what do? We just write it into mathematical sentence. So, this one, sum is 1023. How do we write that? The sum means plus. So that means when you add A and B, you have equal to 1023. Okay, so we're just turning it into a math sentence from English to math. Okay, now it says here difference of A and B is 345. So B minus A is equal to 345. Okay? You got it? Why did we write B first? Because A is smaller than B. So you cannot make the A as the minuend. It has to be a subtrahend. Okay? What do we do next? We just add these two up. Add everything all together. So when you're adding math sentences, you add all the ones that are in the left side of the equal sign, and on the right side you add as well. So on the left side of the equal sign, what do you have? You have A plus B plus B minus A. We're just adding them. We're putting them together. Now, On the other hand, you have 1,023 plus 45, 345. How much is that? That is 1,368. Okay, if you notice, you can rearrange A plus B plus B plus A into A minus A plus B plus B, right? And that would still be equal to 1,368. It's still going to be the same. Oh, now, A minus A, that is just equal to 0. Whatever your A is, if you minus it by itself, it will be 0. For example, 556 minus 556, that would still be 0. So what do you have left? You have B plus B is equal to 1,368. What's a number when you add by itself becomes 1,368? It's just the half of 1,368, right? So 1,368 divided by 2, that would be 650, 684. So that means B is 684. So B is equal to 684. And that's the answer. Okay? Now that you have B, what is A then? How would you know what is A? Can you tell me? Okay, you would know A because what is a number when you add 684 becomes 1,023. So A you could get by doing 1,023 minus 684. And that would be 309, I think. But the question is just asking for B. So, of course, you just answer B. Okay? Alright, let's go to number 16, geometry. A line segment is formed by joining 2 points. Given 10 points in the figure below, at most, how many points can be formed joining these points? So, let's see. I think the figure was not included. Hang on. Let's include the figure. The figure was not included. Forgotten. Okay, here it is with the figure. Okay, so you have 10 points and then you need to choose 2 points to form a line segment. Doesn't matter what the arrangement of the points are. Okay? So, all you have to do is you have to find how many combinations of 2 points there are within the 10 points. So, how do we find number of combinations? Remember 10C2? You know combinations? Combination formula? So 10C2, how would you solve this? You would be having a fraction. So again, the number of blanks is indicated by this one. This is your number of blanks. Number of blanks. So since you have 2, you would have 2 blanks at the top and the bottom. So the top has 2 blanks. The bottom of the fraction has 2 blanks. Like this. Okay? Now, what would be at the top? You start from 10. This is the top. This is the bottom number. Bottom. So you start from the 10 and then you go backwards up until you fill all the blanks. So 10 and 9. This one, you start from 2 and then you go backwards up until you fill all the blanks. So 10 times 9 divided by 2 times 1. So in fraction, you have 90 over 2. And you know fraction is just an extension of division, right? So you can do 90 divided by 2 and that would be 45. So that's how you do combination formula quickly. I know some of you knows the factorial, but this is a shorter way. So you can just do this and it would still be the same.
I just counted all the line segments I could find.
Okay, what's wrong with counting is
I
okay,
get it
but
now.
yeah, counting is okay, but sometimes, di ba, when you're in a competition, your brain is all fuzzy na. So sometimes it would be like you would be forgetting one line segment. Your answer would be 44, but that's still wrong. So it's better to do it mathematically. As much as you can, you need to do it mathematically than manually to avoid careless mistakes. Okay. So you know na how to use the combination formula. You can just go back to the recording. Okay, given the perimeter of a rectangle is 88, what is the largest possible area in cm of this rectangle? They have to remember, as per last time, largest area is when length and width are close together. If they can be equal, they should be equal. Okay, you have to remember this, ha. Largest perimeter is when length and width are far apart. Okay, I know there are lots of things to remember, but you need to memorize them. Because grade 3 kasi, it's when all the new skills or new techniques are being learned. Because in grade 2, of course, it's easier. Grade 1, it's easier. Much more kinder. So in grade 3, this is where the more complex. This is where algebra starts in Olympiad. So that's why it feels like you have a lot to learn. Okay, now we are looking for largest area. You have here, largest area. So we need the length and the width to be close together. Also remember, square is a rectangle, but rectangle is not a square. So now, if the perimeter is 88, we could have a square, right? So if that is 88, the sides could be 22, 22, 22, and 22. And that would give you a perimeter of 88. Now, how do we get the area? Area is just equal to length times width. So, your length is 22, your width is 22 as well. How much is that? 22 times 22, that is just equal to 484. Okay? Square is a rectangle. Why is square a rectangle? Remember, what's the definition of rectangle? Rectangle has four sides. Two sides equal, two sides unequal. So square has four sides, right? So square is a rectangle. But why is rectangle not a square? Remember, the square needs to have four equal sides. But rectangle doesn't have four equal sides. So it cannot be a square. That's why. Luigi, you have a question?
A square fits in every single one of the categories for quadrilaterals.
Yes, that's why it's a special quadrilateral. Okay. Number 18. It is known that a circle can be divided into at most 4 regions using 2 straight lines. At most, how many regions can a circle be divided using 8 straight lines? So you can draw it. You can draw it manually or 64 plus 8, 72, 30. You can draw it manually, but again, that would be risking yourself to careless mistakes. So there is a formula for maximum regions given n lines or given number of lines. So the formula would be like this. Again, you have lots of things to remember, but that's okay. Your brain is very powerful. The formula is n times n plus n divided by 2 plus 1. So, you ask me what is n? N is the number of lines. So, for example, you have 8 straight lines. You would just replace n with 8. So, 8 times 8 plus 8 over 2 plus 1. So, how much is that? Let's do this carefully. 64 plus 8. You see, I did the multiplication first. Divided by 2 plus 1. Getting it so far? Now, 64 plus 8 is 72 over 2 plus 1. So now, you get 72 divided by 2, that is 36, plus 1 is equal to 37. So the answer here is 37. I think in your solution manual, they would put the manual solution. But if you can, I would advise you to memorize na lang the formula. Because again, manual solutions would risk you to greater chance of having careless mistakes. Okay? No questions for this one. Jace, you have a question?
How do I know when to use this formula po?
Oh, because the question is how many regions can a circle be divided using 8 straight lines? So you're being asked how many regions given blank lines, blank number of lines. So you know the formula is maximum regions given n lines. Luigi, you have a question?
Can we do a example?
Okay, let's do an example. For example, you have, let's say, bigger number, 11 straight lines. How would you solve it? Sige, I'll give you 1 minute. Okay, let's solve using 11 straight lines. You just replace n with 11. 11 times 11 plus 11 over 2 plus 1. 11 times 11 plus 11, how much is that? That is 132. Is my math correct? Okay, 132 over 2 plus 1. So, of course, you do the division first. 132 divided by 2, that is 66 plus 1, that is 67. So, if you have 11 lines, you can do maximum of 67 regions or 67 slices. But the slices aren't the same sizes. It's different sizes. Okay? You got the correct answers? I also got 67 messages. Okay, let's do number 19. Cubes of the same size and shapes are placed as shown. How many squares of small cubes can be seen by viewing the figure below from the right side? So, the right side, remember this is your right. You imagine yourself at the side looking like this, right? So, if you are at the right side, what can you see? You can see this, one. You can see this, but you cannot see this because it's covered by 2. You got it? They are the same line. But you can see this. You can see this, 4, 5, 6. But you cannot see this because it's covered by 5 and 6. And lastly, you can see this. So how many did you see? You have 7 cubes that you can see. The answer is 7. Axel, you have a question? None?
I originally thought it was
It was
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, but I quickly realized that it was 7 because there are cubes blocking
yeah.
cubes.
So you have to remember. And then also a fun fact. This is what I teach my students. Left and right are always the same. Top and bottom are always the same. And front and back are always also the same. So if I ask you, if the question is how many can you see from the left, and you have a trouble like imagining how many are in the left, right? Like this figure, you cannot see the left. So you just count the right, and that will be the same. Okay? No questions for this one? Let's do number 20. A prism has 92 faces. What is the difference between the number of edges and the number of its vertices? So remember, I told you last time it was pyramid. You remember last time? Was it pyramid? I've been teaching a lot of class. Okay, pyramid. So the pyramid, your formulas is base plus 1, vertices is equal to base plus 1, and edges is equal to base plus 2. Base times 2. So this is your pyramid only. But this one, it is prism. So it is different from a pyramid. Why? Pyramids look like this. Prism looks like this. Like that. So it's different. Pyramids and prism are different. Okay? So when you say base, it's the bottom here. For pyramids, the base is the bottom. So for example, you have a square base, your base is equal to 4. But for prism, if you have a triangular prism like this one, oops. Pasensya na for my drawing. I'm trying my best. Okay, so for prism, the base is the ones at the sides here. So what is your side here? Your base is a triangle, so your base is equal to 3. That's the difference between prism and base. Axel, you have a question?
Pwede ako magpunta
Okay.
sa bathroom?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Base plus 2, vertices is base times 2, and edges is equal to base times 3. That's the difference. So you have to memorize both. Para you're just prepared. Okay, now, in this problem, we don't assume what the base is. We don't know what the base is, okay? That's why we're going to solve for it. So, it says here, the prism has 92 faces. So, 92 faces. We are given faces formula, so we also use faces formula. So, remember, faces is equal to base plus 2. So, since you are given faces, you replace the word faces. You don't replace the word base, okay? So, this is 92, which is equal to base plus 2. What's a number when you add with 2 gives you 92? It is 90, right? Base is equal to 90 plus 2. So, that means your base is 90. Now, you need to solve for the number of its edges and the number of its vertices. So, edges is just equal to base times 2 or equal to 90 times 2, and that is 180. Base times 3 pala. Base times 3, this is 270. Ta-da! Okay, how about vertices? Vertices is equal to base times 2, 90 times 2 is equal to 180. So if you find their difference is subtraction, right? 270 minus 180, that is equal to 90. Okay, you got there? Rowan, you have a question?
Can I pee again?
Okay. Okay, so again, lots of things to memorize. Better start them now. When you're peeing, you memorize pyramid, faces, like that. When you're pooping, you memorize. Okay? So you can memorize it. Okay. Let's do 21. Anyway, this is in your solution manual. So you can study it. Or if you missed something, there is a recorded lecture. If we combine these 5 numbers to form 5-digit odd numbers, what is the smallest possible number formed? So again, if you have 5 digits, you have 5 blanks. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, you want the smallest, so the smallest should be here. Smallest non-zero. Why? Because if you put 0 there, it would just be considered a 4-digit number. So what's the smallest non-zero? It's 3. And then you put 0 here. And then you have to secure this needs to be an odd number. So the only odd number that is here already not used is 5. So you use 0, you use 3, you used 5 already. You do 6 and you do 8. So that's the answer. 30,685. Okay. All right. Let's do number 22. Kay has 11 $10 bills, 24 $20 bills, and 9 100 bills. At most, how many 500 bills can he exchange her money for? Matthew, you have a question?
Teacher, can I go to the restroom?
Okay. Sige. So, let's get Kay's money. Okay. Okay, case money. So how would you do that? 11 times 10 plus 24 times 20 plus 9 times 100. So, of course, you do the multiplications first. You have 110 plus 480 plus 900. Okay, how much do you have? You have 590 plus, so that is 1490. My brain is braining. Okay, that's 1490. So, if you minus 500, how many 500s can you minus? Minus 500, minus 500, you would have a remainder of 490. And you cannot minus 500 from 490 anymore. So how many 500s were you able to minus? You minused 1 and 2. That's why the answer is you can exchange two $500 bills. Or if you know how to divide, you can just do 1 490 divided by 500. And it would still be the same. Okay? Easy. The combinatorics are easy. Okay, if we are choosing numbers with repetition to form 3-digit numbers, how many of these numbers are odd numbers? So what do we do? How many of these numbers are odd numbers? You just do the blank method. So again, you have 3-digit number, you have 3 blanks. Okay, now you want odd numbers. So in the ones place, this is the ones place, right? Ones, hundreds, and tens. So in the ones place, what can you only use? You can only use 1. What else? 3, 5, and 9. So how many numbers is this? This is 4 ways or 4 options. You got it?
Teacher,
Now, yes.
they are spamming twos.
Oh, okay. How about 100? You can use any number in the hundreds except 0. So you can use 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9. How many digits is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 ways. How about in the tens place? How many digits? You can use everything. 0, 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9. So you can use 7 ways or 7 digits. Now in the blank method, you always multiply. So now you have 6 times 7 times 4. How much is that? That is 42 times 4. That is equal to 168. So there are 168 ways. You can list them one by one, but that would take you a lot of time. Since there are 168. Okay, you got this. Let's do 24. Freedom is almost there. In how many different ways can Abby walk from point A to point B following the paths outlined in the figure below such that she can only move up and right? So, there is a very specific technique of doing this one. Why do I say specific? Because you cannot do it any other way. Otherwise, you would be wrong. So, you assign point A as 0. That's 0. Now, all the lights or all the corners within the arrows, you put 1. So the arrows are here and here. So all the corners that are there in that side, I will put 1. So this is 1, 1, 1. What are corners? Corners are these points here where lines meet. Okay? Okay, so this is 1, 1, and 1, and 1. Now, why do I say it needs to be very specific? Because the order of doing things is layer by layer. So from the bottom to the top and from the left to the right. So what do we mean by this? The first corner from the most bottom and most left is this one, right? So all you have to do is to add where it is coming from. So for example, that corner there, where is the path that it could come from? It could Okay, so it could come from here or it could come from here. So I will just add the ones where it's coming from, this one and this one. So 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. Okay? Now, very specific because you have to get to the next bottom here. So what's the previous one? You have 2 plus 1. You just add those. That would be equal to 3. And next one here, 3 plus 1, you have 4. So this is 3, this is 4. Now you go to the next layer, but you have to start from the left as well. So here first, 2 plus 1, that is 3. Where did the 2 come from? 2 came from here, 1 came from here. Get it? Okay, now 3 plus 3, that would be 6. Where is it coming from? 3 here and 3 here. Okay? 6 plus 4, this is 10. So we go to the next layer again here. You have 1 and 3. That is equal to 4. And this is equal to 10. And this is equal to 20. And then last layer, I have 5. I have 15. And point B lastly is 35. So what's the answer here? You just look at the end. And that would be 35. So that's a very specific way. Okay? So you cannot do this first and then do this second. It has to be in that specific order. Okay, no questions for this one. It's okay. That's the first time you're seeing it. So you just have to review para you don't get confused. Okay, the numbers below form a unique sequence. How many even numbers are there in the first 241 numbers in the sequence? So here you don't have a common difference, but you can see a pattern. The pattern is even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even. So it's just alternating even, odd, right? No questions for this one? Okay, so now what you will do, you have 241 numbers, but you cannot divide that by 2. So you just add 1. Okay? So 242, since it is alternating, half of the set of numbers is even and half is odd. So 242 divided by 2, that is equal to 121. And that means half of it are even, half are odd, 121 even numbers. That's the answer. Easy? Easy. But if the given number, for example, is 240, you don't have to add 1 already. You can just divide by 2 immediately. Okay? You got it? Alright. So, this is the last number for today. Thank you for spending your Sundays with me. Again, lecture recording and solution manual will be given through email. So, thank you for today. Bye. I'll see you next week.
Goodbye, everyone.
Okay. I'll also go because I still have a next class.
Go.
Bye.
Bye.